What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sip-Off, where we talk all things basketball and have drinks. But first, let me go ahead and get my co-host in here. We got Durag Shorty, the return of Durag Shorty. What's up? What's up?
What's going on? The
How are
return.
you?
It's been at
Right.
least a season of no dude.
Right.
He had to come back. He had to come back tonight.
Awesome.
How are you?
Awesome.
How's your
Well,
week?
it's been a hectic week for sure. So, anything that could go wrong this week has gone wrong. It's just been one of those weeks.
Well, next week is gonna be better.
Definitely. Definitely. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get our guests in here. We got Will Vogel. What's up, Will? How are you?
I'm doing what I agree, Megan. Work's been stressful. I've
Yes.
got tomorrow, Monday through Friday next week, and then next Friday night I fly to Florida to visit the grandma. So a little bit 5-day
Okay.
vacation to kick back, chill out in Florida, ease my mind, enjoy the Florida sun, hang out with grandma, and watch All-Star Weekend from a beautiful place. So why not?
Is there a particular reason you're going to visit her, or just guess?
Just a visitor. Just a visitor. I'm
Okay.
going with my dad has business in Fort Lauderdale. He's meeting us in Boca. We're flying to Fort Lauderdale, then going to Boca. So yeah, I love it down there. It's like a second home.
Very cool. Okay, let's go ahead and get our next guest. We got Detroit Dom. What's up, Dom?
Also going to Florida next week on Wednesday.
Oh, your
Thank
annual.
you for stealing my thunder, Will.
We're not we're not
To-
even we're not
Going
even
to the STD capital of the state of Florida.
Okay.
Of course, you brought this up. It's always something about genitalia when it comes to Dom. All right, guys, we got Joseph Jenkins joining us. What's up, JJ?
JJ's dying already.
She's right, and I wasn't even thinking that.
It's always about genitalia.
It's real life Del Boca Vista from Seinfeld.
I was gonna come in with
Oh,
my
okay.
I was gonna come with my joke and say I'm going to Florida too, just to go on. But when you said that, that was the best moment ever.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it at home.
2 golf carts.
No, but
One
I'm
for me, one for mom and stepdad.
I am I'm
Are you
good.
gonna be sober enough to drive the cart?
It's a golf cart. Probably not.
Oh, you gonna go?
Right.
Vacation.
Right.
Why not make
That's
them
the only
mad at
thing.
me?
That's the only thing I've ever done on a golf course was drink. So
Megan,
Why do you think I love golf?
No, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned golf courses because my friend that lives in Fox, like his mom's house is right on the golf course. So I used to, the whole time I was there, I was collecting all the balls that the golfers were over the fence, and one of them actually hit my window and broke it. And I was like, that actually happens. He's like, all the time. And oh my god.
Oh yeah. I've broken a window or
oh, yeah. All right. All right. We got our next guest. We got Steve Shawanda. He said the lifetime ban is
boy.
over. 2 weeks in a
Yes.
row.
Yes, 2 weeks in a row. Lifetime ban is over. We're happy. I'm not going to Florida. I'm not going to show anybody my genitalia. We're doing good.
It was
Yeah.
58 degrees today.
It's all
58
good.
degrees today in
It's all
Michigan.
good.
He was
It's all
like,
good.
I don't need an undershirt.
Well, yeah, the court. Wait, I got that sheet.
Michigan
Just-
people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, show the
Rushy,
guns that no
what?
one's buying tickets to.
Yeah,
Can I get a refund to the gun show?
you wish you looked this good at 40.
He's 40. You're 41. Are you 41 now? 41?
Yeah, look at him now. So there
Oh,
you go.
42. Let's see yours since you're talking.
Show them,
I have a long sleeve shirt on. Ask me again later.
show them,
Okay. Okay. I
Bones
think
and
we'll
organs.
show them.
Bones and organs.
Okay.
Crumbs and air.
Instead of crumbs and air, it's bones and organs. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the records topic. So there were some records and some people that moved up on the list this week. Jahan, will you start us off real quick? I'm gonna jump off for just 1 second.
Oh boy.
LeBron James.
You gotta start it how Mafi would start it.
When you sneeze, don't bless me. Bless LeBron James.
Okay.
She would and open up about LeBron. That is
LeBron James on the other night, record-breaking performance.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday
Night. Thank you, Steve.
Seven.
Well, it's
Seven?
because just real quick. It's because I was texting one of my friends. I work from 6 to 2 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. So I was like, ooh, 10 o'clock start. That's late. Do I want to do? So I'm messaging back and forth. I was like,
Can we mute Jaegerbomb?
and I was like, hey,
No, shut
let's
up.
watch the first quarter. Let's watch the first quarter. If he's going for it, I'll stay up. If he's not, I'll go to bed. Clearly, he was going for it. I stayed up. So I literally went to bed after 1 a.m. on Tuesday night.
There's
Woke up at 4.
4 hours of your
And then
day you'll never get
3
back.
hours of sleep, no big deal. But yeah.
Well, depending
Well,
on where you were in the country, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, LeBron James became the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. And this is where it starts to get freaky and scary, maybe scripted. The NBA script. This occurred.
Yep.
38-8 thingy thing.
This occurred
Y'all got to let him talk.
38 weeks after Kareem's record, LeBron was born. 38 years after LeBron breaks the record with 38,388 points. Then he did it on, I seen something crazy. It was the 38th day of the year.
Oh, wow. That's so weird.
Illuminati confirmed.
38.
Jay-Z was
Yeah,
there.
for sure. Right.
But no Beyonce.
That's true.
She sucks. So does he. Keep going, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one to say it. Can we do a shot for LeBron breaking the all-time scoring record?
We can. We got a new all-time scoring champ. Definitely. We're going to take a drink to King James.
I'm not taking a shot. I'll take a sip.
Cheers.
I saw him.
Okay, but also, we had some other people move up. We had Westbrook moved into number 10 on all-time assists. Was it the same game or was it the game before that? I can't remember. And then also CP3 moved into number 4 on all-time steals. So we're definitely, just a record-breaking season, and we're about a little over halfway done. Fourth all time. So definitely something special. And we'll get into the new
about CP3. That's special.
Well, I wish Shwanda doing the Amiri King, walking around with his phone like this.
I had to get my shot. I'm sorry.
That's funny. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the big topic.
I was gonna make some notes on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So for start off for LeBron, there's some notes about his career so far. He has more points on the road during his career than home, ironically enough.
Okay.
Top 4 in scoring all time. At one point played for the Lakers. LeBron, Kareem, Karl Malone, Kobe.
True.
I find it cool that Wilt was there when Kareem broke it. Kareem was there when LeBron broke it. So it's kind of cool to see the respect athletes have for another. For Westbrook, fun fact, he led the assists for 3 seasons. He's the next guy he's chasing. He's 94 away from Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Thomas.
The most disrespected great player of all time, by the way.
Yes.
He was an asshole.
Isaiah was amazing.
He also has a winning record against all the greats. Much like Chauncey, but keep going well.
Terrible as a coach of GM, amazing as a player.
Most of them are. Keep going well.
Thank you. Chris Paul. He's a 6-time steals leader. And from the past 8 games, I don't know about last night because I forgot to look. He had a game before last night, 8 straight games with at least 1 steal, which was the longest current streak in the NBA this year. The next guy he's chasing, 14 away from his airness, Michael Jordan, to be third all time. And then second all time is, if I'm not wrong, Jason Kidd. And number one is
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Jason.
Number one is John Stockton.
Asen.
So, what if I had to guess? If Chris Paul can play one more year, I think he's passing MJ, but I don't see him chasing Kidd or Stockton. I just think it's way too hard.
Wait, is that in the the steals? The steals is
Yes.
Is Kidd
It goes
as well?
Stockton, Kidd, Jordan, Paul.
Because in assists, it's also Stockton, Kidd, Paul, and then LeBron James, actually, because LeBron James is
right, yeah,
all time in assists, which is, again, if anybody who's ever watched the show, watched the NBA Carousel back in the day when I was I'm not a LeBron fan, but the fact that he's fourth all time in assists,
Me either.
and
first in
number
scoring.
one in points is pretty impressive.
And his sweet finals record.
It's not
Don't forget
quite,
to throw in the fact that he has 10,000 rebounds.
Yeah,
you know,
it's awesome.
It's not
Speak of
quite
that
quick.
real quick.
In a
It's not
stat
quite
stuffing
Wayne Gretzky.
era.
Yeah, it's not quite Wayne Gretzky, who has the most goals in all-time history and the most assists in NHL history. And even if he never scored a goal, his assists would still give him the most points in NHL history. But it's still pretty impressive.
Mario Lemieux was better.
Okay, that's
that's
just stupid. You just said something stupid.
That's asinine, and this is
Can
a
I
take a
basketball show.
shot. Take a shot. Dom said
I'm-
something stupid.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
More points per game lifetime than Wayne Gretzky. And a better scorer. And not a PUSSSY. That was 3 S's. And I can say pussy.
I've got one more thing to say. Dom and I's friend Jeremy Ballrick actually said something the other day, and I said, and I wanted to say this, and I couldn't agree more. LeBron will be, when he retires, possibly with a few more, maybe 3 more healthy years, it's possible he could be the first guy to have 40,000 points, 10,000 assists, 10,000 plus rebounds. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, no,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
you can't deny greatness. I told y'all in the chat, I'm not a LeBron fan.
No, I'm not.
But
Same.
you have to acknowledge the greatness. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yep.
After you finish, I was going to say, I was just letting you know I wanted to say something. I was just letting you know.
Oh, okay. No, I'm good. I'm done. I just don't like him.
No, I agree with you 100%.
He
Everything you just said.
He screwed my parlay up so bad. It was so
Oh God.
Oh, there goes JJ.
In a 5 out of 6, I had 5 out of 6. I had Anthony Davis to go over, and in normal situations, he did. When LeBron did, I was like, "Why didn't my foolish butt didn't just take him over?" Like he really wanted.
That's funny. That's really funny. All right. Do we have anything else on the records or any of that?
Congratulations
I think we
on
all want to get to
being the best
cluster
stat
that
stuffer
was
in a stat stuffing era. LeBron. Also looking at you, Russell Westbrook. Sir Russell the Ringless. Utah's buying him out, right?
Such a hater. I don't know, but John
Yes,
Wall
most
just did get
likely.
bought out. So, okay, let's start with, today was the trade deadline. It was at 3:00 Eastern. We've seen some stuff already happen this week. We saw Kyrie go to the Mavs. Let's talk about that first. That trade, Spencer Dinwiddie and Kyrie. Let's talk
It's
about
relevant again.
We've already seen Kyrie on the court with the Mavs. He was so happy to be in Dallas, which I doubt that we see him there after this season. There's already rumors that he's going to go somewhere else. But when he left the game, he walked home wherever he was staying, and he was just out there with the fans. I thought that was pretty cool. So let's talk about that trade. And Dom, come back because it's your favorite player.
Can I say something? Can I say something before we start?
Yes.
I feel
Yes,
like
Shazam, you can.
I feel like Kyrie always does this though. I feel like he did this in Boston. I feel like he did this in Brooklyn. I feel like he did this like he goes to a team and he's like, "Oh, I'm so happy to be here. You guys love me. You show me love. You show me everything I need." And then a year or two later, it's I hate this organization and I hate everything about it. Trade me now.
There
So-
are multiple quotes of him saying, "I'm not leaving. I love it. I left. I'm just gonna be here. I'm happy. I left." So
Right.
yeah, we're
I just
gonna
say-
stay
I just say-
tuned. I'm gonna mute myself because I don't want to talk. I want to let you guys talk. Go ahead.
I just say, like, take him with a grain of salt anyway, with his love
Okay.
you and you're the fans and I love you crap. Like,
So, what I want to say is this has to do with the Kyrie / KD trade. I know we'll get to that probably shortly after. The Nets look like they're.
Well, line cutting is cause for ejection from the park. But keep going.
You know what? I'm not interrupting, so let me finish.
I was supposed to go first. But go ahead.
He
I
was.
don't get it.
I go.
As-
I go.
well,
We can go wrong because Jahan interrupted to start. So let's just go this way.
Okay,
So,
let's do it.
what I was going to say is I agree with Jahan 100%.
Shazam.
Kyrie says
Naturally.
one thing. Kyrie says one thing. He turns his back on the organization the next minute. He's so two-faced. It's insane. He's like, I'm going to stay. Oh, I'm so pissed. No, and I think it's going to take away from I know Luka said, yes, I'm excited to play with him. If I'm Luka, I'm not excited. Luka, you're going to lose a lot of numbers because of him. You're not going to be averaging what you're averaging now. Your numbers are going to drop probably 10 plus points per game. You're probably going to.
10?
They play different. They play different positions. They play
10.
different positions.
Still, I know. but
Luka's
I
at the
still think-
one.
I know, but I still think
Okay.
Luka's numbers are going to drop significantly.
Okay.
I think his numbers are going to drop maybe 10 plus, maybe 5 plus points less. I agree. I don't think Kyrie comes back next year. And Jason Kidd even said this is Luka's team. And personally, if I'm Luka, I stick with it. If Kyrie tries to take over and say, even though he probably has a lot of respect for Kyrie and Kyrie's been in the league longer, I'd say, listen, coach said it's my team. You better listen to
Well,
me.
there was the Clippers, there was the Suns, and then there was the Lakers that were all interested in Kyrie. And the owner was like, I'm not sending you to LA. You know, like, I guess that was your best chance at a championship. In my opinion, it was either, Clippers or probably Phoenix, where he would be, at the best fit as far as maybe getting a championship. And the owner was like, no, hell no, you're going to Dallas, where, you're probably not even going to end up staying. Texas is, as we all know, it's a red state. And I mean, I'm sure some fans are happy he's here, but I think it's probably a mixed reaction. So we'll see how
I
it goes.
think Jason Kidd's gonna find out how quick Kyrie will be a problem in a heartbeat.
I mean, but when you have the opportunity to go for a player of that caliber, you do it, especially when
I agree.
Dallas is in. So they they got Markieff Morris, all right. And then they got Kyrie Irving. And then Brooklyn got Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2027 second-round pick, a 2029 first-round pick. I didn't even know they could go that far, unprotected. And then a 2029 second-round pick. So I think that losing Dorian Finney-Smith is going to be huge. And I thought Spence was a good fit there in Dallas. But I like seeing him go back to Brooklyn. He knows this team. So, I mean – and then also their coach was the assistant coach when he was there. So he knows this coach.
And
so,
I
think it's,
sorry. I'm sorry.
I think it's possibly a chance for Spencer to kind of revamp and get reestablished with a team that he already knows some. So we'll see. There are rumors that they're going to flip him, but I mean, he's playing tonight. Is that right, Don?
Correct. First of all, thank you for bringing up Kyrie so I can make another genitalia reference.
No. Please don't do it.
Okay, well,
don't do it.
Who trades the mayor for Mr. We'll just call it PC. We all know what PC stands for.
We know what it stands for.
The trade deadline has passed, and supposedly that was the thing they were talking about. like I saw that trade happen. And I'm like, no, like I didn't care, but like I like Luca and the mayor, and I like.
Mhm.
I think it's subtraction by addition because Kyrie and Luca, no,
Both are ball handling guards.
Yeah, but Kyrie has the ability to move over to the 2.
True.
When we saw
I was
look, Brooklyn
fortunate.
had
I'm just glad I didn't buy another Mavs Spencer Dinwiddie jersey.
I was
right. Well,
fortunate to
when
meet Dorian Finney-Smith at one point, and that guy has a good head on his shoulders. And I think he's one of the most underrated forwards in the game today.
Oh, he's good, and Dinwiddie's really good. But Brooklyn,
Like, and
3 days ago, they were a legit contender with 2 of the 5 best scorers in the league. Last night or this morning, they woke up with Spencer Dinwiddie, crumbs, and air.
So as I was saying, I feel like Dorian Smith, if I'm not wrong, he's a 3-and-D player, isn't he?
I think we're kidding ourselves if we think Spencer Dinwiddie is an upgrade or anything close to what Kyrie's going to bring to this team. Number one, because Kyrie is arguably
right, crumbs and air.
So I don't think Kyrie and Dallas is that bad of a fit as much because number one,
however,
I mean, and
he was there the last time, and Kyrie got hurt.
Hold on,
then that's a better record.
Hold on, let me get this out.
This will be the last thing that I say, and it's just in response to what you're saying, Joseph. He averaged over 19 points, like 6 assists. I mean, no, I know that though Kyrie's probably a little bit better than that, with probably like 23 to 24 points. But when Spencer was with Brooklyn last time, he was averaging close. Yeah, he was averaging close to 20 points. So
and they had a better record when Kyrie was hurt.
I respect that better. I would take Kyrie any day, because
would you?
Hold on. I've spent a long time with Spencer.
Let me finish, Tom, please.
With the Washington, I know what he's capable of. At the same time, I think there's 2 different tempos from what I realized last night when they played. It's a slower pace type offense because they like to let him ISO and set up things for himself. Kyrie picked up the pace. So that's a change up between the 2, because when you have 2 guys that have the ability to create and do the things that they do, you can run 2 different offenses with both of them. So while one is resting, the other one's out there, and there's no really big drop. Because if you ask Kyrie and you need him to get you 35, 30 points.
Wait. Did you just say Spencer would slow it down in ISO?
Dom, hold on.
No, I'm just asking.
Hold on.
I actually want to hear what he says.
I haven't had a chance to speak. But I don't think...
I'm just gonna mute everybody except for Joseph right now. Sound good?
I was just asking a question.
I appreciate. Thank you. But I don't think that it's going to be the one that's going to get them over the back. But I think if they see themselves in a matchup with the team that can possibly be like what is considered better than them, like a Memphis or a Sacramento who has a higher seed, I think it's going to be good, for them to get a chance to get over. And I love the drama because as it stands right now, the Mavericks and the Suns are going to be facing off in the Western Conference. As far as Brooklyn has got some things to think about because I think Spencer's going to give him something. I think Spencer's going to help Cam Thomas learn how to be but also be a facilitator at the same time. But that East is strong. And the Brooklyn's best chance of even getting over the hump, they have got rid of both of those players. But this East is too strong, especially at the top when you think about Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, and then Cleveland's right there. But, we'll see what happens.
All right. All right, Steve, hold on. There you go. You unmuted yourself. Awesome. Talk to me about this trade and what your thoughts are.
Again, I was trying to not say anything. So we're still talking about the Durant trade, right?
Brooklyn. We're talking about Kyrie and
Kyrie
Dinwiddie.
Personally, I don't think Kyrie and Luka are a good basketball fit. I know that they both could technically play off the ball,
Amen.
but both are better with the ball. They also are both not great defensively. So does it make it? I mean, if you're Mark Cuban, do you win? Yeah, it makes your team must-see TV. You're making money. You're selling tickets, advertisements, all that stuff. Basketball-wise, no, they didn't get any better. They didn't get any better. They have no bench. They don't play defense, and they have two guys that need the ball. Basketball-wise, it doesn't make sense. And Kyrie has shown he is the ultimate short-term. I'll love you. I'll be happy to be here, and then something will happen. And obviously, I don't know him. I've never talked to him. I'm sure he's a smart, intelligent, wonderful person. But for whatever reason, it just seems that when things are going good, he doesn't like it. And he's got to make some drama. So, yeah, I think it will hurt Luka. As Luka is one of the better young stars of the NBA to bring us to the next generation with Ja and Young and those guys, I don't want Kyrie Irving 1,000 feet within Luka Doncic. So I think it's a very bad move for them, truthfully. Long term. Short term, will it be fun for a little bit? Probably. Will they win a playoff series? Maybe. But they're not going to win the West. And Kyrie then's probably going to demand a trade again.
Well, he'll be a free agent, so he's only there for half a season. And then here's my thought also on this. I think it's just something that, maybe that you guys haven't thought about, but, whenever the big three were there in Brooklyn, obviously we know they didn't play a whole lot of games together, but we did see Harden take over the 1, and then Kyrie was at the 2, and it was really the best we ever saw Harden. I felt like it was the most efficient that we saw out of Harden. I felt like, and the same thing with Kyrie. And so I think being able to take that load off of Kyrie from having to be the 1 and have him over there being the 2, I felt like that was actually the better fit at this stage in his career. So I think they have the potential for that. Harden didn't play defense, and they still won some ball games over there. So I think it has the potential to work out some, but I don't think it's your recipe for ultimate success. Like, I don't think they repeat to the Western Conference Finals. I don't think that, no.
Just real quick, you said two very important things right there, Megan. Theyes, Kyrie can play off the ball. He can play the 2. It's happened. And actually, I think they should do I'm not their coach. I'm not telling Jason Kidd what to do, but I would do the other thing. I would have Kyrie take up the ball and have Luka come off the screen. Have Luka come off the ball to score. That's what I would personally do.
Because he's bigger?
Yeah, that's what I would
exploit the matchups.
That's what I would personally do. But you said the most important thing second. It didn't help them win any more games. And that's exactly what I believe will happen to Dallas. It will be fun. It will be exciting. It's not going to help them to do anything more than they were going to do.
But
they'll still get in the playoffs.
But you have to think they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, pretty much on the strength
They
of
lost a huge
Brunson.
That was a part of that, though, Brunson.
But now,
hold on one second, though, because Jahan hasn't been able to go, and we've been on this topic for like 10 minutes. So, Jahan, what are your thoughts on Kyrie and Spencer Dinwiddie?
This man done changed his whole hookup. Love you for that.
Yeah, man. Can't stay the same all the time. But I think I'm in agreement with Steve. I think it's a terrible trade for Dallas. To me, Dallas lost too much. They have no depth. And I think when they get in the playoffs, they're going to get massacred. I think Dallas had something good last year. I don't think they were at that level again, like you alluded to with the Brunson thing, with the Dorian Finney-Smith now gone as well.
Spencer Dinwiddie. But I don't think Brooklyn got better either. I think it was a trade that no one won. So
Facts.
like, yeah, it was one of these trades that's like it was only done because Kyrie would have sat out the rest of the year. And it was like, if you don't do this now, then this is what I'm gonna do, and I have to get rid of that. You can't win with that. You can't do anything with that. It was I'm gonna cry my way out of this situation, and what are you gonna do about it?
Kyrie.
And I like Kyrie. I'm saying this as a fan, as a Kyrie fan. I still like
Talented.
Kyrie. I still like Kyrie, regardless of the things that he's done, regardless of him being a flat earther, any of that. Like when you look
He's
at
just really good at basketball.
yeah, but when you look at just
Like Kevin
basketball,
Durant.
when you look at just basketball, though, Kyrie is an all-time great ball handler, an all-time great offensive finisher at the rim, an all-time just a great explosive player, and he's part of the reason LeBron, like he's more than part of the reason. He's arguably the reason LeBron brought a ring to Cleveland and broke that curse.
Thank you for saying the.
Like it's a lot of things that can be said about Kyrie, and we could do a whole show about Kyrie.
It's with a better jumper.
But like I said, I like Kyrie. I don't think it was a great move. I don't see them having much success. If the situation goes how Joseph said it goes currently with Phoenix and Dallas in the first round, I'm predicting a Phoenix sweep. I'm predicting that they do some damage to these boys, and it's gonna get biblical.
And so, like the one that actually I feel like is questionable in their lineup is not Luka and Kyrie, but for me, the questionable one in their lineup now is Hardaway Jr. Like, what do you do with him? Because he's your shooting guard. So if you decide either one, if you put Luka at the 2 or if you put Kyrie at the 2, what happens to Hardaway Jr.?
I personally would put Luka at the 3. I would put Luka at the 3.
But you know the good thing is
he doesn't want to do
on
that.
the court.
It's a
Positionless, but
hold on. It's a good positionless league, but think about it this way. Like I said, last year they need somebody to replicate Jalen Brunson. What do you bring in? A guy that can score and facilitate and be able to give you what they say need. And also consider this: Phoenix is getting into gear. Oklahoma City might play an X factor in this play-in tournament, things like that. Dallas can see that without Luka, they had lost some games. They did not look good without Luka Doncic. When he was out, he had to drop 60 to beat the New York Knicks, who many don't even consider a top 6 team in the East. So it's clear as day that they rely on Luka so much. They need to bring somebody in with knowing that Luka's going to be out for quite some time. You have to stay the course. I don't think it's going to turn out long term, but I understand every bit of it because if they get into the playoffs, they need to have people that they can rely on to come and bring it, which is what allowed them to get to the Western Conference Finals. And
so you mean Spencer Dinwiddie?
Okay, so we wrapping up. We're gonna wrap up.
Timmy Jr. is gonna get minimized because Luka and Kyrie.
So let's slide over to the big news that happened last night, 1:00 in the morning. If you were awake, I was not.
Either woke up this morning like.
No, that's how I woke up too, and I woke up at like 5:00 in the morning.
I wasn't even thinking about the Suns.
No, I wasn't thinking about the Suns either. So we saw this blockbuster trade. I don't know if KD wanted out. I don't know if they were just. I don't know what was going on with Brooklyn. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if it was a KD thing.
He thought he caught that PC.
So anyway, so KD gets traded to the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns end up giving up Bridges and Cam Johnson, who are already on the sidelines right now at the Chicago versus Brooklyn game. Obviously, they can't play, so they're in street clothes, but they're already over there. Thoughts on this trade? Let's start. Joseph, start us off.
Thank you. I think that makes them the most difficult starting 5 to deal with in the NBA at this point. because you have three guys that can really create for themselves and are some of the best people to create for others. And the amount of lineups that they can play, they have shooting out the wazoo. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul can hit that three. Torrey Craig got the three. Landry Shamit's coming back. Campaign's coming back. Dwayne Washington can hit the three.
And they kept
so much shooting. And then out of all of that, you have Ayton down low. I think that they have the ability to run KD at the 5 and have nothing but shooters around him and beat you. They got the chance to have Chris Paul do his normal thing with 8 and then have Devin Booker space you out. I think Phoenix has a really good chance. They elevated themselves to a contender to get out the West. I actually had Denver, but Phoenix is tough, especially when Kevin Durant comes back, because his numbers are better than it was before injury, and his defense is still pretty good because Brooklyn was one of the best defensive teams. Now, in terms of Brooklyn,
right,
they did help themselves. I think they helped themselves with this deal more than they helped themselves with the deal for Kyrie, because you got two guys that can be 3-and-D players. They can do two-way things.
right.
Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges can score, and they need the defense. So I think Brooklyn is intent because the way they play, they're very fast-paced. They're trying to get after you. They're trying to swap balls, and those dudes are perfect. They're going to try to win with their defense to fuel their offense, and you can't help but having those two guys. But I think Phoenix is a team to really because if you look at it, everybody else started making moves once that deal happened. That shows the effect of Kevin Durant.
Well, and I was just about to ask that. Was this the answer, or was this the one that motivated everybody to be like, we got to have an answer for the Nuggets, because obviously they're in the number 1 spot right now. Steve, give me your thoughts on this trade.
Well, this is an interesting trade because on the outskirts of it, if you do it from a Nets fan perspective first, you had Kyrie, Harden, and KD, and did absolutely nothing, traded all of them, and got absolutely no stars back. But long term, the picks and the other pieces that you got back could, and of course it's a question, it's always a question league, could lead you to better things moving forward. Which, as a fan, and I've been a Pistons fan for a long time. Dom
2 less years than me.
Yeah, more years than you, Dom.
2
and if your team is trying, even if it doesn't work out, at least you can see at least they're trying. At least they're not staying put. So I feel like the Nets I don't have any proof to prove this, but I feel like the Nets organization said, hey, after Kyrie demanded trade, we basically had to move him. Let's just blow this up. Let's just get as many picks, as many young players, as many expiring contracts as we can, and let's hope for the best. So for them, for the future, I get it. Even though it's funny because right now they're still in the 5th playoff spot in the East, and they're 6.5 games out of not being in the playoffs. So, they're probably still going to be in the playoffs, which is crazy. For the Suns, as long as KD can come back healthy, knock on wood, their starting 5 is really, really good.
Right.
But you still got to play defense, and you still have to have a bench. So, in a series, I still worry about that a little bit, but I do got to give love to their new owner. He's Matt Ishimba, who's former Michigan State basketball player that made a shit ton of money. I can say shit, right? Yeah. Made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, no, we don't care.
And, bought the Suns. And he said, hey, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to do that. I guess they're going to be aggressive. First week after he owns the team, he gets KD. So clearly they're going to be aggressive. So, I think for a career achievement award, we all kind of want to see CP3 win a ring, and maybe we will, but I still worry about their bench and their defense.
Okay. Jahan, your thoughts on it?
About No,
The
about which
man, the
one?
man on
I'm
your
being serious.
shirt, love. The man on your shirt.
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. All right. So
Hey, Jahan, before you go, what's better, Durantula or Slim Reaper?
Slim Reaper easily.
Summary prayer.
All right.
Thank you.
This how I feel. This how I feel about it. It automatically made Phoenix the best team in the West. Like the fact that they were able to keep DeAndre Ayton in this is the most
Mhm.
like best part of this. I think it has made them absolutely formidable. Somebody sent out a tweet that said John Morant started this because he said he's good in the West.
It was CJ McCollum because he said he was good in the West.
Yeah, he said he's good in the West and he started this. So I had a good laugh about that. But
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I really think it separated themselves as the team to beat now.
Okay.
Like because everybody's gonna say you got to play defense, and who's gonna stop Jokic, and who's gonna stop Jamal Murray. I'll give you that. I'll grant you that. But who's gonna stop KD, and who's gonna stop Booker? Like you got. So whoever's
Booker's gonna stop
there,
Booker because he played one game and he's already back out with the same groin injury. He played one game, so that's what's gonna stop Booker himself. His health.
Playoff book different. Playoff book different though.
Okay.
Playoff book a dog.
I mean, I'm not knocking Book. He's on my fantasy team. I just need him to get it together.
It's hard for basketball players to play with groin injuries. It is very hard.
I'm not knocking him
we
at
know
all.
too.
Like it is a serious injury. Like and then I will say this also.
Right.
Like I don't think Harden has ever looked the same since the hamstring injury. Like he just hasn't. And he's somebody that was notoriously healthy. So I don't think it's intentional. Like it happens, you know. He said KD gonna stop KD too. No, he's just injury prone.
KD was
Facts.
1 inch away from sending the Bucks from getting their first title. Let people forget.
Right.
You know, he was 1 inch away from doing that. He
Yeah,
definitely
from beating that championship Buck team.
He's definitely has
Okay,
the capability.
So Will, give me your thoughts on the KD trade.
So I was looking at SportsCenter today, and I think it was Vegas, or I think it was like Vegas Sportsbook. The Suns' odds for winning a title now are the second best after the Boston Celtics, which I'm not surprised because getting a superstar like Kevin Durant when he's healthy is huge. Put him alongside a past first point guard like Chris Paul and another star or rising star. I still call him a star, Devin Booker. He kept DeAndre Ayton, who's still a work in progress, but you still got to manage to keep him, which is huge. For the Brooklyn Nets perspective, it kind of reminds me of when the OKC Thunder stockpiled picks on picks on picks on picks. And they still have picks.
No, they still have them, yeah.
Yeah. And Mikal Bridges, great young player. Helped that Suns team a lot. Was a great role player for them. Same with Cameron Johnson. Love Cameron Johnson. Great role player as well. Great three-point shooter off the bench for that Suns team. Definitely makes the Suns probably top 3 team to beat in the West. Definitely going to be a much improved team if and when KD is healthy. He will definitely make a difference on that team. For the Nets, I think they're going to slip a little bit. I think they're still going to be I think they're going to be like maybe an 8th, maybe a 7th seed, because they do have Dinwiddie, they have Dorian, they have Bridges, they have.
Thank you for mentioning their best player.
Can I finish, please? And Cameron Johnson. So I do think Brooklyn did take a step back, even though they did get these good young pieces. It's just in the long haul, I think KD is going to help this Suns team. Like I said, when he's healthy, in the long haul, the Nets could get some really solid pieces in the draft. if they pan out and help this young team rebrand itself.
So as much as we've talked about Brooklyn blowing it up, nobody wanted Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Rudy was like,
Nobody.
Okay,
Jahan, you see it when did Jahan?
no, I love it. I love it. And so Durant's going back to the 35. Texas days.
is he really?
For real?
He's going back to the 35.
Fuck yeah.
He is. He's going back to the 35. All right, Dom, tell me what you think about this trade.
The Suns, I don't know. They're playing today. They're sitting at the 5
No, they
seed.
played
They're
last night.
okay,
I think.
so they're 8
They
out of
played today.
first. They're 8 out of first, but they're also only 4.5 out of 13th, which is the Lakers. But
Well, because like from 7 to 13.
yeah, it's so bunched up. The East is too. I love it.
Some-
It's how it's supposed to be. But
Right.
when you add Kevin Durant for pennies outside of those picks, like it's not about, like you said, didn't even know you could trade draft picks. So it's
From 2029. Yeah. I
yeah,
know.
6 years in the future.
Can I interrupt real quick?
You may.
42nd round picks got traded.
That's insane.
42nd.
Yeah,
round picks.
5 of them for Sadiq Bey.
5 of them. Well, basically,
I'd have rather taken the 5 second-round picks.
basically that trade came out to the Warriors traded James Wiseman for Gary Payton II, and the Pistons traded Sadiq Bey for Wiseman.
Crumbs in air.
And
James Wiseman.
Hawks traded 5 first-round picks
For Sadiq Bey.
for Bay.
Second round.
Blazers traded, second-round picks, and then Blazers traded. I don't even know whoever they got for Kevin
Fine.
Knox. Since it was such a 5-team trade craziness that was just
Cam Reddish.
No.
Thank you.
That's right.
So
Cam
the
Reddish.
Nuggets didn't make a move. Yeah. The Pistons
Bones
were supposed to be
Island.
talking to Atlanta about Reddish. Instead, we inadvertently traded Sadiq Bey to them for nothing.
Right.
I think it was that whole thing went to whole frenzy literally after Kevin Durant went over
It did.
Phoenix.
Manu Ginobili, Nick Jericho.
Who did the Kings have dirt on still sitting in the 3 seed?
They're
That's
actually a very good team. They're
Yeah,
actually
Nick Jericho,
very.
come
They
on.
are. Like I can't believe it.
I will say this.
Okay, so let's touch on what the Lakers have done because they had several different moves as well, and go from there. Which y'all know I hate the Lakers, but we got to talk about it. Steve, start us off.
Oh wow. Well, so
You've already gone first, Will.
I'm like you, so I'm gonna make this really short and sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, you trade Pat Beverly for Mo Bamba, and you get rid of
That was my
Russ
favorite part
Westbrook,
about it.
and basically, and LeBron James is out tonight because he already got the scoring record. They're the 13th seed. They're not going to make the playoffs. LeBron got everything he wanted to do this season. He broke the scoring record. Now he's going to sit out every back-to-back. You're really terrible. You should have traded. Truthfully, if you wanted to be good, you would have traded AD. Because you probably can't trade LeBron.
If you wanted to be good, you never should have acquired AD.
Well, they won the bubble title. They got their title. That's the thing. You got your title, and that's
a month off for LeBron and AD.
That's a question for another episode when we have a slow time. Would you rather win one title and then suck for a decade, or just not win that title? But that's a question for another day. But yeah, they got their title, so they got basically they did it. They did what they wanted to do with LeBron and AD, and now they're just going to suck until they get rid of both of them because they're basically just being held hostage by LeBron trying to score more points. And the other night, and yes, I'm a hater, whatever. I appreciate his greatness. I appreciate his greatness, but last night or the other night was a perfect example. He scored 38 He scored the all-time record, and they
lost.
They lost to the Thunder at home. So yeah, he's gonna score 30, and they're gonna lose. That's what's gonna happen the rest of the year, and they're gonna miss the playoffs. Spoiler alert.
So you don't think D'Lo adds anything to this?
Absolutely nothing. They're not gonna make the playoffs, and LeBron's gonna sit out every second half of night. He's gonna score 30 when he plays, and they'll lose. Period.
So my favorite part about this, and all I'm really going to comment on is, well, okay, they did get Bones Highland, which is a really underrated pickup in my opinion. I thought he was important to Denver. Obviously, he's not as important as their starting five, but I felt like he was an important role player for them. So, you know, I'm a little leery about that for Denver, but they should be okay as long as everyone's healthy. But my favorite part was that Pat Bev tweeted out once he heard about D'Lo that, you know, the gang's back together. Next day, 10 hours later, you're going to Orlando, bro. We don't want you. Jahan, what are your thoughts on what the Lakers have going on? Jahan?
He froze and he was muted. He was so upset about that Mo Bamba trade, he can't even.
No, he hates Pat Bev.
But
why?
He celebrated
going in order,
the
JJ.
Red Wings' big win over the Flames of Calgary.
No, Jahan? No? I think he's frozen. All right, Will,
he
you
was
go
there,
ahead.
and then he wasn't.
Okay, so I actually think the Lakers could be maybe at best a play-in team. D'Angelo Russell gives them some scoring LeBron needs to help space the floor. Some. Same with Malik Beasley. They did get Mo Bamba. They did trade Thomas Bryant.
I didn't understand that either.
But I don't know. I think he helps LeBron and AD take the pressure off them. But do I think it's going to help them in the rest of the season? No, I think it's a little too late. I think that this season is kind of a bust for the Lakers, and I think that when you should have
Never got LeBron.
You should have fixed your problems way sooner. Way sooner.
Right. Okay. All right, Dom, your thoughts on it?
It doesn't matter. I feel sorry for D'Angelo Russell. The fact that you dedicated a whole segment to a number 13 seed in the West just because it's LeBron, it makes me both angry and sad. They're not making the playoffs. LeBron's out after this year. And I hate the Lakers, but at this point I feel sorry for them because LeBron is holding them hostage.
Okay. All right, Joseph, your thoughts on it?
You know, this is such a diverse group of individuals with different perspectives because I don't agree with any of y'all. I don't agree with Steve. I don't agree with Dom. I don't agree
of course not.
any of y'all for this because I do feel a logic to you guys, but I do think a lot of the actual opinions of this man kind of factors into it a little bit. I do think, we have to think. They went after Kyrie, but what happened? Brooklyn said no. And I will say this about that Brooklyn thing. That owner is petty, or that GM is petty. Mm-hmm. He wanted to get rid of. He wanted to.
I don't hate it. We said Kawhi to Toronto.
What did he do? Won a title.
Hold on, but I say that to say they tried to level up. They got the next.
I know, and I didn't hate on LeBron. I don't think if you had the opportunity to go for LeBron, you go.
I did.
Oh no, I wasn't addressing on. I knew you were good. I was saying I don't think we just said they are literally from 7 and down within 2 or 3 or 4 games, and even closer to 6. So to say that this team does not have a chance to make the playoffs, I think that's where the emotional aspect comes into it. Because to your point, Steve, your Warriors have things they have to work on as well. They're not exactly looking crisp as what you would normally be accustomed to at this point in time.
Steph's got to get healthy. That's all I'm going to say. I'll mute.
He does, but even then, but there's other teams. There are other factors in there. Portland, Utah are right there. I think the Lakers. I've never been someone who thought the Lakers were as bad as everyone said they were, because when they've been in games and they've played with teams, they've always been maybe a play or two off of it. Now, I'll take it back to the LeBron situation with Oklahoma City. I think the pressing thing is they can win and they have a chance, but seeing how Anthony Davis reacted to everything, they sacrificed a win for the record that night, when I think that is where there may be more of an issue. Like, Anthony Davis wants to win. You know, he's busting his butt playing with a bad foot and everything like that. And he's giving you what he's giving you to help you win. And then now you lost to a team that is in the same running as you. But I think D'Lo they need shooters. They got Rui, they got Beasley, they got D'Lo. All phenomenal shooters. And so it's not just LeBron. We've spent a lot of time talking about LeBron. Anthony Davis still in the squad. And I think as long as Anthony Davis can maintain what he's been doing, the way they've been managing his minutes, keep him level, they have a very good chance, in my opinion, of showing people up and actually making the play-in and possibly making the actual playoffs, because we've seen them go against very good teams and have won and sometimes have lost. So they're not exactly the bottom of the barrel like a Detroit. They're actually a very, very good team, has a chance to get a little bit better, but it's just everybody else is just as good as them. So they got to bring it. So they got to get something. If they couldn't get Kyrie, you couldn't just walk out with nothing. You got to get something.
You couldn't say Charlotte.
so-
There's
so
two of them
real
on the
quick.
panel.
Megan, can I
real quick?
Do a little bit better.
Megan, can I quick?
Can
To
I
JJ's
talk?
point, he's absolutely right. Like the Lakers, they're 13th right now, right? They're two games out of the play-in. They're 2 games out of the play-in.
Right.
The teams ahead of them are OKC and the Jazz, right? Obviously, after them, like they're 13th right now at 12.5 back. I won't tell you who the 14th team at 23.5 back, because Megan knows who they are.
Right. No.
Yeah.
There's a huge gap.
So
That's
there's
what
a
I'm
huge
saying.
gap.
Like,
Yeah, there's a huge gap.
There's a
between the
huge gap.
13th. Yeah. So it's 13 teams. It's basically 13 teams going for 10 spots. Now,
Right.
one thing that JJ just said that I completely agree with, they got shooters. And when LeBron has been his best, because that's truthfully what he is, and yes, obviously he can score. He can put his head down and score whenever he wants because he's stronger and faster and more athletic than everybody. But when he's been his best is when you surround him with shooters. The Mike Millers, the Joneses of the world, heck, even Ray Allen late in his career. He just stood there and shot 3.
Ray Allen, yeah.
So if you surround him with shooters, it can work. I just think that there's too many other teams in that range in front of them. And I feel like, and again, maybe I'm wrong, I just feel that LeBron got what he wanted out of this season already, which was to break the scoring record. And now I don't see him like tonight with his ankle soreness. He's not going to play on any back-to-back or any, 3 games in 4 nights or whatever. And I don't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. But yeah,
I think at this point,
surround him with
like at
shooters,
this point, I don't
work.
care if he plays. Like at this point in the season, I don't care if he plays back-to-backs. We already hit halfway. He is in year 20. Like to me, I don't care. When we
I
talk
don't care if he plays ever again.
Well, when we talk workload management, when we get closer to the playoffs, I really don't care. When we're talking about somebody that's close to 40, I really don't care. But I know LeBron is a marquee player, and so for the fans, that kind of sucks.
Don't even.
Hold on. First off, I wanted to say, Chris, I don't care if you're ranting. I love that you're commenting. We appreciate it.
I told him too. You're welcome.
Also, hi, Jordan.
Jordan.
Thank you for tuning in. And,
what up, Jordan?
Hello from Arizona.
Could this be the Nuggets year? 4 games up in the West. I have to say, you guys look very dangerous. This is what I expected when you made the trade for Aaron Gordon. And we saw you guys win 9 games back-to-back, and then Jamal Murray got hurt. And so, like, when y'all picked up Aaron Gordon, I thought y'all were extremely dangerous. The only thing that is questionable for me is that you traded away an important piece of your bench in Bones Highland. So, real quick, I'm going to read through the trades, and then everybody can go around and say which one was their favorite trade, and then we're going to end the show. So Katie to the Suns, Kyrie to the Mavs, Russ to the Jazz, D'Lo to the Lakers, Pat Bev to the Magic, Mike Conley to the Timberwolves, John Wall to the Rockets, Eric Gordon to the Clippers, Josh Hart to the Knicks, Mikal Bridges to the Nets, James Wiseman to the Pistons, Sadiq Bey to the Hawks, GP2 to the Warriors again, and Mo Bamba to the Lakers. So Will, start us off.
Well, that's tough. I personally think this may sound crazy. I think GP2 to the Warriors, and I'll go real quick. You're getting a guy who is one of your focal points off the bench back. Mm-hmm. This Warriors team, it's all, like Steve said, in the matter of health of Steph Curry. If you have Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, and then you have the bench of Kuminga and Poole and Peyton, who knows if they can all stay healthy for the rest of the year? Who knows? This Warriors team, even though they've had their struggles, can end up back in the NBA Finals.
Right. Okay, Dom?
Favorite trade that you didn't mention? Oh, I mean, you said Kyrie, I'm sure. Favorite trade is Dinwiddie back to the Nets. Least favorite is Wiseman to the Pistons because logjam. Now you have Wiseman, Duran, Stewart, the exhumed corpse of Nerlens Noel. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm losing faith in Troy Weaver by the minute, but I'm assuming Dwayne Casey's finally going to get fired at the end of the year. Because at this point,
I'm sure they're riding it out.
At this point, Weaver's like, this coach sucks. Like, no reason to fire him and let the team rally and play our way into less ping pong balls. So just do what you do. Get us the 5th, 4th, 3rd most ping pong balls, and then you're fired.
Okay. Joseph.
My favorite trade is Mike Conley going to Minnesota Timberwolves because he brings experience. He has the 3-point ball, and we have to think, who did he play with last year and who's on that Minnesota team this year that everybody has a problem? Rudy Gobert. So now that he's back with Rudy Gobert, he knows how to facilitate an offense. And I have to give a shout out to Minnesota because when they made that trade, they were the laughingstock of the league. They got picks back. They got a first-round pick coming back with a player and still are in the thick of the playoffs. So I have to give them a big shout out because they're trying to salvage what they have. And the D'Lo situation, if you watched that last game prior to them getting traded, you knew he had to go because it was just nothing.
They've been having drama on the bench for
all the time. And then now, like you said, now Mike Conley brings a veteran experience. He brings that grittiness, not just from Utah. I'm sorry to bring this up, Megan. We remember his Memphis days.
The fucking Grizzlies.
His Memphis
they
days.
used to knock us out all the time.
Language.
Exactly. But like the whole point, I think that's the most underrated. I think that's the most underrated trade that has happened outside the blockbuster deals because I don't know if y'all looked. Minnesota in the thick of it. They are right there.
They have
a very good chance to get
I'm a
it
huge Ant fan. Like I'm such a big fan of Ant.
Yes. He should be in the All-Star game as a replacement.
Okay, so Steve,
we didn't get to that.
Are you done, Joseph, or no?
And I was just going to, that's one thing. Worst trade is the one that Dom just said because they don't need bigs. They have 4. They have Marvin Bagley. Right. They don't need another big. Like, that makes no sense.
Right. Well, Bagley's gone. I thought Stewart was going to get traded. Oh, what we gave up was Sadiq Bey for James Wiseman instead of 5 first-round or second-round picks, whatever that means. Like I said, I can't even say until Casey gets fired.
Steve, tell me what your favorite trade is, and then why is it GP2?
Well, real quick. Stu's gonna play the 4, and Duran and Wiseman, whoever becomes the better one of those two, is gonna start at the 5. The other one's gonna back up for it. And Bey lost, he lost his rotation minutes. He's a 3-and-D guy whose 3-point percentage is and he could defend. So that's why he got traded. So I'm okay with it because Wiseman's still going to be – I still feel like Wiseman's going to be good. He's still young. He just needed opportunities. As a Warriors fan inside because I love Steph Curry, I feel like – of course, him and Duran are basically the same player, just 3 years earlier from each other. But whatever. So yes, to answer your question, Gary Payton II obviously is great because he was a huge addition because he was big last year. I'm glad he's coming home. But the biggest trade, truthfully, that has not been mentioned yet is Jay Crowder coming back to the Bucks. And Jay Crowder to the Bucks. Jay Crowder to the Bucks. Jay Crowder to the Bucks is going to Jay Crowder to the Bucks is going to win the Bucks the East. Now, whether
Possibly title.
Jay Crowder to the Bucks is going to win the Bucks the East. Now, whether that has anything to do with whoever comes out of the crazy West, because the West is crazy right now. We'll see. But Jay Crowder to the Bucks.
The whole league is crazy.
Jay Crowder to the Bucks is the biggest addition right now for the Bucks.
Megan, I want to ask you
So
something.
for me, I'm gonna say that I feel like Josh Hart to the Knicks was probably my favorite trade. I felt like New York was calling for Tybalt to his job to be, for him to get fired. I'm a huge Tybalt fan. I love him. I love Tibbs because I love defense. So it's just a style of play that, it doesn't happen a whole lot anymore. But if you don't play defense on Mike's team, you're not getting minutes. And that's what was happening for Cam. So, maybe it'll be good for his career in Portland as well. But I see the Knicks really won this trade, in my opinion. I think Josh Hart is, he's reuniting with Jalen Brunson, former Villanova teammates. And so, I think he's going to be happy to be there. But also, I think he fits well there. For me, I felt like Portland, what the fuck? Y'all trade away Dames. Every little bit of help he has, y'all traded away. And I just don't understand it. Now, I being a Spurs fan, I love players that are loyal. So I can commend Dame because for him, he said it's just a game. He really loves the Portland community. Him and his family love being in Portland. And so I commend him for saying that it's more than just about the game. For them, it's about the community, about the team, and it's not all about playing this game. So, but you're trading away every bit of help he has ever had. Gary Trent's here for it.
Instead of just him.
Just real quick just real quick to Megan's point. You got to feel bad for Dame, right? Like he's done he's done everything that you'd want a star to do. And
but who's gonna play defense on Portland now?
He's got less than zero help.
They don't have
less than zero help. Like none.
And Josh Hart was.
Nurkic is good, but Nurkic is never healthy. And so, your best asset is your availability, always and forever. So, and then on a lighter note, the Spurs trade was also another favorite of mine. We got rid of Jakob Poeltl. He went back to the Raptors. So I feel happy for him because it's an organization that he knows, that he's comfortable with. And, I just wish him the best. As far as us, we got 47
billion. Happy about your cap space.
But I will say,
let me cut you off.
The trade loser, I will say two things. I think Golden State should have made a play at OG Anunoby because I think he's a better defender and a two-way player. He's in the starting rotation, and he can do that. And he has the ability to lock. If you watch how he's played against guards and other shooting point guards, he's giving them fits. And with Devin Booker and Phoenix there's somebody that can counteract him while you have Wiggins try to give, Kevin Durant fits. And as far as Toronto, I think Chicago should have blew it up, but they never did. And I think that was a big downfall to this whole trade thing.
No, the Warriors definitely tried to get him. They loved him. They wanted to get him. I personally, and I won't even call myself. I guess I'm a Warriors fan by default right now. I'm a Steph Curry fan. I've loved him since he was at Davidson.
Same.
I drove to Ford Field to watch them play Wisconsin in the Sweet 16 when he was at Davidson. I've loved Steph Curry for a long time. I'm not a bandwagon.
They blew out Georgetown. It was just coming out
for a long time.
All right, guys. So I don't mean to interrupt, but it's getting kind of late. So I'm going to let Jahan go ahead and have the last word on his favorite trade, and then we're going to end the show.
I think my favorite trade is obvious to everybody. It's the Slim Reaper. It's the Tarantula. It's KD to the Suns. I think this makes the Suns the best team in the West. I think CP3 CP3 finally has a chance at a ring, which he should have got when they were up 2-0 on the Bucks, but that's neither here nor there. I think it's win now with this team, new ownership coming, and two of my favorite players in both leagues are now in Phoenix. It's unreal.
Okay. So, if you don't know, he's alluding to Goat Rozzy. So, the valley is deep.
Yes.
The valley is super deep.
DT.
But DT did say in her press conference this week that there are still some things to work out there in Phoenix.
Her
So,
press conference, which was asked great questions by the Queen of Hoops, Megan Price.
Amen.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. I'm always appreciative to Team USA because, man, they call on me every single time. Like they put me right up there with their own USA Today and ESPN and The Athletic. Like those are the main ones they call on, and they always call on me. So, huge shout out to Team USA. I really appreciate that. They've definitely helped me further my career.
Well, don't be modest. Huge shout out to you. You ask great questions. The athletes always respond to it. So yes,
they're excited to talk to you.
Shout out to you. Yes.
Final score.
I try not to keep it too serious because everybody always especially with DT, they all went to the PG topic right away, and I was like, that's stupid. They don't want to talk about it right now. You know what I mean? It's nice. It's nice to have an update.
You asked that question the perfect way about
guess who won.
How is your preparation different going into this year? Instead of saying, "Oh, how are you different after Brittany Griner was in jail?" You're like, "No, after this year, how is your preparation different?" Like you asked it the perfect way. It was a great question. She answered it wonderfully. So kudos to you. And by the way, the mayor.
And I enjoyed
the mayor with 25, 5, and 6. Tom.
Okay.
Yeah. Guess who won? Guess who was the leading scorer?
We're going to end the show. I appreciate everybody that commented and that shared the show and watched. Go ahead, John.
No, I was just speaking.
Are you just saying bye? Oh, you're just saying bye. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you back next week right before the All-Star festivities. I hope everybody has a fabulous week and you enjoyed this crazy trade that we had this season.